you can't alter the past. You can't change how the past is, but you can always bring it to the altar, and it'll get better.
I'm not sitting here saying that we're the perfect guys to talk about spiritual growth, but we've experienced it.
It has made me grow with God so much more than I could have ever imagined.
Welcome back to the Just God podcast. This is episode 22. The topic for today is spiritual growth, and this is our special guest, Kobe Cox, and Micah Croft. And Kobe Cox is gonna read the verse of the week.
Romans 5:5. And this hope will not lead to disappointment, for we know how dearly God loves us, because he has given us the Holy Spirit to fill our hearts with his love.
In Romans 5:6, when we were utterly helpless, Christ came at just the right time and died for us sinners.
Yeah, I just found that verse on the Bible app. And before we keep going, I just want to point out that Brock is not here. He got caught up on something, so it's just me. Luckily, I was able to get these two guys who go to this youth center. But yeah, the topic today, spiritual growth, is something that, man, that's a heavy topic for sure right there. So just to start off, man, like, what's I guess I'll start off with you. What's the moment where you have felt like spiritual growth or anything?
So I got rededicated in May of this past May, and ever since then I've kind of been giving my life more and more to God, and I've slipped here and there, but in the end I've always went right back to God after everything, and then started reading my Bible more and getting more Christ-like, I guess you could say. It's kind of ever since that's been the turning point of more spiritual growth.
Yeah. What about you?
So for me, I've had a bunch of like key moments that have like stirred my spiritual growth, but one that really stirred it forward this year was back in January. I went to this young adults conference called Passion, and Pastor Louis Giglio is his church who puts it on, and they did an amazing job. There was a sermon on the will of the Lord. And it's not necessarily what school you go to, what job you do, who you date. It's none of that. It's, and everything that you do for the glory, the honor, and praise of God. And I've, since that moment, have just held on to that. I've prayed that over a bunch of the students here. I've prayed that over myself, tried to live it. And it's just brought so much life change and spiritual growth in my life.
Yeah, it's heavy. Yeah. So, Pastor, so you got saved or you got called to ministry last Wednesday?
I got called into ministry last Wednesday.
Yeah, Pastor Matthew came up to me because he teaches our Bible class. He's like, I think he asked me, who do we have as guests? I told him Micah Croft and you. And he said, man, he got saved last week and called to ministry. And he said that something happened with your like Achilles or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what happened with like that?
So I was at baseball practice and we was running and my Achilles kept slipping, and then I woke up the next day and it was like really, really bad pain, and really like hurting pain in that. And I've been praying about ministry and stuff because I felt like I needed to.
Yeah.
And Wednesday night, it was kind of just like, I felt it heavy on me, and I felt the Achilles was really heavy on me. Yeah. So I just prayed. I was like, if this is really you, you're the one telling me this, and it's not just my mind, then like my Achilles, it's been hurting. If I go up for prayer and I walk around after and there's no pain, then like it's you. And then I got done praying and I walked around, there was no pain at all.
That's crazy. That's kind of like what Brandon Breyer had, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you prayed that the day of, or was that like the day before?
Well, I prayed it the day of that he would heal it, but I've been praying about the signs of ministry and that for a while.
Yeah. So have you previously seen on any of our podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know Brock's? You know Brock's story? So how he like pretty much, I'll just say it since he's not here to say it, but you know how he pretty much got called to preaching and he kept trying to push it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, it was something that like, man, just a story, you know, if you guys haven't seen it yet, he talks about it a couple times, but it's crazy how like the devil will try to like push you away from God and try to make you not want to accept that call.
Yeah.
Literally, bro, I think the day before, because that was a good night. I think I made a whole video on it too, if you've seen it or not. But it was the youth night we had here. I think I was going through some pretty tough moments in my life, man. I think the night before that, I literally prayed to God. I was like, God, like because I just kind of got invited here just to
Yeah.
film. That's really it. That's why I wasn't really just sitting. I was like kind of around filming, but something in me, I was just like, God, show me something tomorrow, whether that's a message, an action, just anything really. And bro, like it was towards the end where y'all were like all praying, like everyone was like here, which was crazy. Like, because my youth is like 5 people, and that's like a lot of people, you know. But once I saw that, I was like, I was literally recording that, but something in me was just like, I should not be recording this. I should be experiencing it. So pretty quickly, my camera was down and my hands were up because, like, man, like I get you, bro. Like I felt the spirit moving in this room, and this is my first time ever being. Like I filmed here a couple times, but I've never really came here for a youth night or Wednesday night, anything like that. So, man, y'all, this is crazy. But like this room, bro, this room saves lives. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so um just going in, were you always, I guess, growing up like in a Christian household, or did you like how did it go?
Yeah, so I'm actually a pastor's kid. My dad preaches up in Mentone, and we've moved around a good bit because of his job. And the main thing that stayed consistent is keeping our faith at the center of everything. I mean, whether it be a decision that my parents would make about what church we're going to try and get a job at, or where we're going to move, or uh, even what secular job they might get. Like my dad works down at Northeast as well. They always keep God in the center of it, and so that's been like a big thing that I've taken from my parents and applied it to my own life. I mean, I don't do anything without prayer now, and that has really stirred a lot up in me because, like, it was weird because being a pastor's kid, people think either you're going to go one way or the other. You're going to be super rebellious, or you're going to be a preacher yourself. And honestly, I kind of went both ways with that. I chased after the things of this world. I did some stuff that I regretted doing, and it got me in a lot of trouble, but it helped me realize that I need a savior, and I was able to really take on this walk with the Lord for myself, not just because my parents are pastors, not because I grew up in a Christian home, but because I wanted to pursue it myself. And it's helped me so much in just becoming who I am now today and with my own call.
So are you like the youth pastor here, or?
No, so I'm one of the leaders here
Okay.
at Fyffe. I do all the behind the scenes stuff. So the lighting, the slides, the sound, that's all me.
Wow.
I even do photography every now and again.
Yeah.
Wherever they need me.
Yeah. So how'd you like get here at the F5 youth?
So this is where my parents grew up. Well, let me back up. This is where my mom grew up going to church, where my dad got saved, where they got married, and where my grandmother still goes to church. And so this is home for us.
Okay.
And I moved in with my grandmother for college about 5 years ago, and just been coming here ever since. And genuinely, it has been such a great decision for me because I've been able to be poured into through Pastor Matthew, through Pastor Jason on Sundays, and serve alongside them in so many different areas. And it's just been awesome.
Man, that's crazy. That's good. What about you? How'd you like get connected with like the youth center here?
So kind of like Mike was saying, my mom went here when she was a teen. My parents got married here, and then we did go off, and they was kids pastors at another church or another 2 churches, I think.
Yeah.
And then there was a job opening up here, and we kind of prayed about it, and they prayed about it, and they kind of just made the decision it was best to move here. And like we did move to Fyffe school and stuff
Yeah.
a little before we moved here, and then we kind of just started coming here, and they got that, and then we've just been here ever since.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. These 5 high schools literally right there. So
Yeah,
have you
it's-
like before you came here, did you like see it? Like the building when you're passing around and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've saw
Mhm.
like I used to since my family was here before,
Yeah.
and like my aunt comes to church here,
Yeah.
so I would come with her occasionally, or on like Easter or the kids' events, I'd always be here.
Mhm.
So I was kind of familiar with the campus and stuff, and then it just kind of one thing led to another.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So really, just diving deeper into spiritual growth, do you guys have like, I guess, I don't know. So do you have like a testimony, I guess? Or, like anything where you were like,
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
yeah.
I mean, if I sit here and tell you my full testimony, we'll be here for hours. But just to kind of give a quick breakdown of it, like I said, I grew up in a pastor's home and knew all the Sunday school answers. I knew what I should say, what I shouldn't say, and I didn't really take it on for myself. I would read my Bible every now and again. I'd pray, but I wasn't in prayer. I wasn't in the Word. I wasn't worshiping God. I was just kind of going through the motions. And because of that, I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety, suicidal thoughts. I tried to fill that hole with things of this world, whether it be drinking, smoking, whatever. I tried to do everything except what I should have done, which was turn to God. And I realized that about 3 years ago, which is whenever I first received my call to ministry. But this year has really just been the main catalyst of my spiritual growth. Like I said, with passion, that changed a lot of my perspective. And as the year went on, I was working at a restaurant and I ended up quitting my job just because it was damaging my spiritual growth, keeping me held back and keeping me stuck in old ways. And then whenever I quit, I got filled with the Holy Spirit the very next Sunday. I got to go down to church camp, Camp Utopia, and serve 3 weeks in a row as a cabin leader. I got a brand new job where I do pest control. Shout out Revolutionary Pest Control. I get to go into people's homes and I get to share the love of Christ with them just through my actions, through the way I carry myself, and get to pray over them. It has really just been such a overwhelming blessing from God. And my girlfriend, Kinsey, she makes bracelets, and she made this one here. It says 5 in 1. Basically, what it means is what I might have been able to do in 5, God has done in 1 year. And that's been so true for my life.
Oh, yeah. That's good. I like that. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, not to copy Micah or anything, but I grew up my parents were preachers.
Mhm.
I mean, I've always knew right and wrong, knew how to live for God. I went to a Christian school for a little bit, but I kind of started living for the world, and that really hurt me because I was young and I started doing stuff, not super bad, but it sort of set me more and more away from God, or that would distract me from God. And then as I got older, I kind of kept doing it and kept moving up. And then when I started coming here for youth, I did end up getting closer to God. And then something happened. I can't remember what it was. And I kind of went back to the world, trying to fill that void with nicotine, smoking, all that stuff. And I stayed on that for a while.
Yeah.
And then I stopped hanging out with some people. And that kind of helped me jump forward in my ministry with Christ, or relationship with Christ, started hanging out with the right people. And then here recently, I went through breakup and that it hurt, and it kind of showed me, hey, I need to go through God more, because I did try and do it on the first couple of days. I tried to go all me and just let it happen, and that turned out to be a really, really bad decision. And I kind of gave it to God on here 2 Wednesday nights ago.
Mhm.
And that's kind of opened my eyes about a lot. Like, no matter what the hurt is, what the pain is, like, if I just give up on it myself and just give it to God, like, it all heals.
Oh yeah, yeah. So how old are you? Marius?
I'm 17.
You're 17. Okay,
Mhm.
so we're like the same age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if you mind me like asking. So I guess with the breakup, how did you recover? I guess.
So the first couple of days was really, really hard. And there was some stuff that I done that I shouldn't have done, but I kind of just rebelled and tried to do it on myself, to go
Yeah.
and just be like, hey, if I do this, then it's gonna work. And I was praying about it, and Matthew was like, just give it to God, like, stop trying to fix, or don't try and fix things, give it to him, let him work it out. That's what a bunch of people told me. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna listen, gave it to him. And I'm not gonna say that it was easy. Like, it hasn't been an easy road.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's been so much better. The depression and anxiety and all that, like, that's all gone. And it's kind of like, when I get sad or anxious or something like that, I know I can go read my Bible no matter where I am. If I just read and go to God, then he kind of just fixes everything.
Yeah. The reason why I was asking is I won't say what happened to Brock but I went through a breakup as well, like
Yeah.
maybe 3 weeks ago, I think.
Mhm.
And obviously it doesn't feel like that. It feels like way longer.
Yeah.
But bro, like, yeah, man, like I like what you said, that don't try to fix it, just give it to God.
Mhm.
Because that's what you do. I think one note, bro, and man, that hit. You put it on your Instagram. I don't know if you remember. It was you can't alter the past,
But you can bring the past to the altar.
exactly, bro.
Yeah.
That hit, bro. Like, that was good, bro.
I hadn't seen
good.
that, but that's good.
That's really good, bro.
That's kind of something that I saw one day, and I've kind of been living by it. Like, you can't alter the past, you can't change how the past is, but you can always bring it to the altar, and it'll get better.
Oh yeah, bro. Like, we tried it, like you said, you try to fix it yourself. That's
Mhm.
what I think a lot of us do, bro. We try to, like, do it besides,
Do
us.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think with another podcast we filmed like last week, God's Plan, bro. Something that like I learned, bro, was just like our plan, bro. Our plan sometimes not gonna go 100%, bro. Sometimes our plan is gonna fail and fail and fail, bro. But whose plan won't fail, bro? God's plan.
Yeah.
And like we said, sometimes it won't make sense. Sometimes we'll be like, God is leading you one way, but you want to go the other way because you think that's the best thing for you.
Yeah.
And man, that hits. Another thing, I think I was praying. Pastor Matthew came up to me. I think he was praying for me, and he told me like, it was something to do with the podcast. Well, not obviously with the podcast. It was like just in general, but I kind of correlated it with the podcast. He was like, don't let the views pretty much try to get to
Yeah.
you and stuff, because I know that's something I struggle with, bro. If like a video doesn't do as good as I expected it, I'm like, man,
Yeah.
just like whatever. But something I've learned, bro, is that, man, as long as one person watches, bro, and takes something out of it,
It's
man,
all worth it.
it's all worth it, bro. Because I know literally the last guy we had, Lucas Lepre, he DM'd us. He sent us a message. I don't know if you saw the story. He DM'd us on the Just Got Podcast account, and he said, man, y'all are like an inspiration, bro. Like, it was something
Yeah.
that, man, bro, that it was so nice, literally, like reading that, because it's like I'm actually doing something,
Yeah.
And I'm not just sitting here.
And I think one of the biggest things we can take away from ministry, because this is y'all's form of ministry, and I know you just got called, I'm called. It doesn't matter if you're standing up on a pulpit on Sundays or if you are in front of only one person. As long as somebody hears the word of God and takes it into their heart, that's all that matters.
I think another thing that people kind of struggle is like perspective on things. Going back to the God's plan thing, like, that's kind of where I struggled with for a little bit, and I know other people struggled with it too. Like, it's hard to see when things are going wrong. Like, it's hard to see this is going to be for the best. It's hard to see that if I just let this happen, it's going to work out better than I could ever expect. And that's kind of with the views thing. Like, maybe people didn't see it, but it might have helped one person really bad. I think perspective is just one thing that has to be in there with ministry and stuff to see how much better it's going to work out if you just give it time.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. So we like to rush into things. I think that's something that, like, we want things quick. I think even Pastor Matthew said it today. I quote Pastor Matthew, I think, like, literally every single podcast. But he's like, we live in a society where we're like, I think he called it a microwave society. I think that's the term he used. How we want everything fast. We now, like, with technology and stuff, we can get stuff fast. And we sometimes don't let God grow in us, We want to move on to the next thing. And same thing with our special guest. He was like, it got to the point where, bro, he just like, no matter what God blessed him with, he cared about the next blessing, the next one. Like, he was never fulfilled because he never really took time to really just thank God for the blessing, As we're just moving on, like, I want this, I want to grow. Like, like, let's say you're an athlete, like, you had a good game. You won
The next
2 more
game,
touchdowns, 3 more touchdowns. We always want more and more and more, and we won't, like, we just want to enjoy that one, that one blessing from God.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. You got to just sit back and be thankful for what's happening because you never know what's going to happen next. Good, bad, ugly. That's kind of one thing I've always struggled with is wanting the next. It's what I have learned. Focus on what's happening right now because you're living an answered prayer right now.
Oh, yeah.
So you just kind of focus on that part right there.
Yeah. Are you gonna say something?
I think one of the easiest ways to really live in that perspective of this is God's plan is living in a place of surrender. I mean, it's easy to sit here and say that, just give everything over to God, but I mean, it really does bring life change. I mean, one thing that going back to the views thing and perspective, one thing I've had to do is change my perspective, especially with like ministry, my relationship, my job, all of it is, could look to the next best thing, look to the future, but I also, if I look so far into the future, I can't enjoy and experience the blessing that God has placed in front of me right now. And that is what has helped me so much with my perspective on it, is just surrendering and just focusing on where he has me right now, because he can open up a door and you can walk through it. But if you keep on looking for the next door, then why bother even walking through that door?
Exactly. Something I've included in my prayers is just at the end of the day, I just kind of just thank God for everything he's done, because, like, man, but going back a little bit to the breakup thing, sometimes it's just easy to be like in that moment, bro.
Yeah.
Your entire world, bro. Like, it's just, it feels like it's over. Like, God can't even help you, bro. You go back to a couple of weeks, months, a year later, bro, you're going to be like, man,
like that.
Look where I was back then.
Look
bro.
where I was, look where I am now. And that's kind of something that I've kind of looked at like, yeah, it hurt. It really did. And people here saw it, like Micah, he saw it, but it hurt. But looking back at it, even now, like it's not been a long time, but it's probably the best thing that has ever happened to me because, yes, I did love her, but like at the same time, like it has made me grow with God so much more than I could have ever imagined while in that relationship. And it's kind of like that happened and it set everything off. I got called into ministry. I started living for God more and more than I was. That's just something, it might seem in the moment that it's the worst thing ever, but all in God's time. And it might be a week, it might be 2 years, but it always kind of seems like that happened for the best.
Oh, yeah. I think after that breakup, bro, I realized that during that time, bro, I was relying on my happiness on her
Yeah.
instead of. I think I was looking for someone else's love without realizing that I had God's love this entire time.
Mhm.
You know, something that I think with the Meaning of Love podcast. Now have you seen that one? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I think like Pastor Matthew, he just says we always trying to look for the satisfaction of other people's feelings.
Yeah.
Um, but man, sometimes we gotta like just sit down and be like, man, God's there for us, man. He has a plan for us. Yeah. Whether that right person will come in our life now, tomorrow, or next week, just whatever point in our lives,
Yeah.
maybe he saw something that you didn't.
Yeah,
Maybe he saw
that's
something worse that would have happened in the future if you didn't end up staying with that person,
yeah.
So just give it all to God, like you said, surrender. Man, surrender it all to God. Because he knows you better than you know yourself. For
Yeah.
sure. He knows what's gonna happen. He knows what happened in your past. He knows what's in your mind. Like he knows everything, bro.
Mhm.
He's pretty much planned your life already.
Yeah, I mean, everything's it's all just his timeline. And I think I saw one thing, and it was talking about like maybe God's not protecting your heart as much as he's not going to give you the person that you're meant to love forever and that you're meant to marry until you realize like that's not the love that I need. Like I need God's love.
Mm.
And when you focus on getting his love, then other stuff will fall into place.
Bro, that's good. I like that. Man, you send me that video. But going back to you, like I guess, have you ever gone through heartbreak or anything like that?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I've before me and my girlfriend Kenzie were dating, I dated a few different people. I had one relationship in particular where I really thought I was gonna end up marrying her, and I don't know why, looking back at it now, because there wasn't much substance to the relationship.
Yeah.
But I was so caught up in young love that that was all I could focus on. Kinda, again, going back to I was finding my happiness in this person, and I mean, it broke my heart whenever things didn't end up working out, but that was also a catalyst to push me further in my relationship with God. I mean, I didn't have anything else to do, so I was just gonna get in my Bible. I was gonna turn on some worship music. I was gonna pray. I sought counsel from my mentors, like, and it really did help push me further into my walk with Christ. But at the same time, I didn't fully surrender it. And so I dwelled on it. I let it drag me down, and it kept me captive for a while. And so, in saying all of that, that's been years ago, and it no longer bothers me and no longer holds me down or anything like that. And I've been able to take the mistakes from that relationship and learn how to better be a follower of God, how to be a better boyfriend, how to be eventually a husband, eventually a father, like all of these things that I've been able to learn because of what I did wrong in that relationship and what God has, as a result, taught me because I've been able to surrender it to Him.
Going back to what you're saying about you learned, sometimes you gotta go do something with the wrong person and take that experience when you're with the right person God has planned for you. Bro, I really do believe in that. But that's good.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's bro. Just like that's I'm sorry, I'm just repeating my words, but really, bro, that's good, bro. God is gonna put you to times where, bro, it's gonna feel impossible. It's gonna break you. It's gonna hurt you. But like he does that
Mhm.
because it might not be your first. It probably wasn't your first time, being hurt, to the point where, bro, like you said, you weren't fully surrendered to the point where, obviously, something that I got told was that you can experience happiness if you haven't gone through, hurt. You haven't gone through bad. Something, I don't know if you guys listen to Forrest Frank.
Oh yeah.
There was one lyric he said, "Without rain, there would be no rainbows," and that was a good verse, because life isn't just like, all good. If it wasn't, you wouldn't, when good stuff happened to you, you wouldn't really
You wouldn't know.
enjoy it
Yeah.
because you never really went through the bad stuff. So, like you said, man, like, just when you find the right person, bro. Yeah.
And then one thing too that taught me was how to trust God through the trials, how to trust God through the fire. I mean, I don't know if either of y'all heard it, but there's a song by Maverick City. I think it's Maverick City, Refiner. And it says, I want to be tried by fire, purified. And basically, it's a song about surrendering your life over to Him. You're going to go through trials, you're going to go through pressure, you're going to go through just crap. But it is how you respond through those trials, through the hurt, through the damage, through the heartache, whatever it may be, that really shows what you have going on underneath. And it is through that God is able to clean all the gunk out of your life and purify you and bring you closer to Him.
Yeah. God will be in the fire with you. Like, the three men who were in that furnace.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Exactly. He's going to be in that fire with you, and he's also like, just like Peter, like he did with Peter, he's going to pull you out the water, even when your faith runs short, because of course all of our faith has probably at some point in our lives, like, been short. There's been times, I've doubted God's plan for me. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, if you told me like a year ago, I'd be here having a whole podcast, Christian podcast. I mean, I'd probably be laughing at you. I'd be like, there's no way, because the one that I just filmed, I kind of shared my testimony of that, but it was something where I'm like, how can someone as broken as me help other broken people? That's something that felt impossible to me, because no way, in no shape or form, like, there's no way, like, I'm not perfect at all, but how do you hear from Pastor Matthew? God doesn't call the qualified.
Yeah,
He qualifies the called.
That's kind of something I was always scared about, especially going into ministry. Like, having not so much as now. Like, I'm not the best person now. I try to be and I strive to be. But like, looking back at my past, like, there's a lot of stuff that I've done to me, to people, just done in general, that like make me feel like that's just not, I'm not good enough to do it. I mean, obviously my mind, like what you said, Matthew saying he doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. But like that was something that I feel like a lot of people do struggle with, thinking they're not good enough to share God. And that kind of hurts some people too, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I mean, you even see that in the Bible with like Moses. I mean, in the burning bush, God is telling him to lead his people out of Israel. And one of the first things he says is, I can't speak.
Yeah.
But he ended up qualifying him. Not that he was qualified, not that he was this great, amazing person who could do all these things, but he made him into somebody who could do all these things, not for his glory, but for God's. And I think that's what we should really focus on with ministry is I'm just me. There's nothing about me that should lead you to be saved, but it is because of who God is and what He's qualifying me to do. And then as a result, calling upon you to do that should lead to that life change.
Oh, yeah. I mean, even go back to the disciples, like, they were not perfect.
Yeah, they were bad.
Exactly. But what did Jesus do to them? He literally had most of them write books of the Bible.
Yeah.
Like Saul, right? That's his name. He literally killed Christians. I mean, he was not a great guy, but when he accepted Jesus, he always had to go through something horrible, losing his vision and just being blinded for him to realize, man, God's king.
Yeah, but another
And
thing, like going on the losing part or the good's got to come with the bad.
yeah,
Like one of my favorite verses is Romans 8:18. Like the bad times now will not compare to the joy of the future. But that's obvious. Like grass can't grow without rain.
yeah,
Like yeah, it might rain for a season or however long, but at the end, like grass is gonna grow. It's gonna look great. Like that's something that's always kind of there with me. Like it might be really, really bad right now, or has been, or will be, or whatever. But at the end of that season, it's going to be better than you can ever imagine. That's kind of
Mhm.
something that's always there with me.
Spiritual growth.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
spiritual growth part.
yeah, yeah. We're the trees, bro, and God is the water, man. He
Hmm.
really just by like, man, really just diving into the Bible, those daily prayers with God, man. That's how we grow. That's how we grow. We don't grow with trying to like, do our own things,
Yeah.
trying to do our own paths. That's how you die. That's how the plant dies. But man, God, bro, he'll grow you, man. He'll grow. He can grow some of the worst people.
Hmm.
But yeah, man, that's good.
Mhm. There was a sermon that I heard. I can't remember if it was Keenan Clark or if it was Caleb Crooms who preached on it, but basically the main point of it was there's a fruit problem. People will look at you and they can tell the kind of person you are by your fruit. So if you are always angry or if you are mocking people or whatever, you have bad fruit. But if you have the fruit of the spirit, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control, they will be able to tell that. But what it boils down to is the roots. If your roots are not planted firm in God, in that good soil, not on rocky ground, not on thorny soil, not on the scorched soil, but on that good nutrient filled soil, then that is when true growth will begin. That's when the fruit of the spirit will start to show up in your life, and that is when people will be able to look at you and they'll say there's something different about you, and you can say that it's God.
Yeah. Man, I know there's a moment where, um, man, I don't think I switched my life around to my junior year of high school. I think before that, man, I wasn't really like nice. Like I won't get too much into it. Like I just wasn't a really good person to people, and people noticed that. And it wasn't until I think I went to like a Christian summer camp. Um, Bro, like I just started like I kind of just looked back, and when you're in a Christian summer camp or just really anything, it's your environment changes. You go
Yeah.
from like the people that you used to hang out with everyone's like Christian, and of course there wasn't perfect people. Like not everyone there was
Yeah.
singing Christian like worship music, but there's people, and it's like it was a total change in my environment where I was like, bro, I was acting this way towards like this friend group because they didn't really care.
Yeah.
But like seeing how just the good and wrong, really. Because sometimes I think I just didn't realize how bad I acted to the point where I was like, I need to stop really just acting this way. I
Yeah.
need to start really just changing around. And my friends noticed that. My friends were like, something's different about you, man. You're not really doing all these things you used to do. Because I used to be
Yeah.
kind of like the um, I forgot the word for it, but just like out of pocket guy. I just do whatever,
Yeah.
just say
And I mean,
whatever.
I think a lot of that too is hanging out with people.
Hmm.
Like a tree's gonna fall the way it leans. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying to just cut everybody off that's not Christian or anything. But like I know with me on personal experience, like I've had friends that wasn't good and that I still have friends that's not the best of people, that's the godliest of people, but at the same time, I know that if I am around them, I can minister to them and show them God's love and stuff. But that's also kind of thing like you've got to get to the point where you can be around somebody that is maybe doing stuff that you have enough self-control and all that to not do and to show them the love of God rather than show them or rather than say everything and say you're Christian and say this and say that and then keep hanging out with them and it holding you back. I think that's kind of where I've been. I've been there before, and I didn't just cut them off, but you do got to find a happy medium in between, kind of. That like, hey, if I'm gonna be with them, I've got to learn to not do this or learn to say this to them and get them to church and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And you can absolutely love those people still. I
Yeah.
mean, God calls us to love others as Christ has loved us. And I mean, he loves everyone so much that he died for them. That's that agape love, like Pastor Matthew talked about. But he also, through Jesus' example, showed the importance of having that inner circle. Don't let everybody know your business. Don't let everybody have influence over you. But the ones that do have influence over you, make sure that they are sharpening your iron, not dulling it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, minister to other people. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes they probably
Yeah.
won't learn. They need maybe like I think it wasn't God didn't send you to. This is what Brent said. Who's another? He's like we haven't had a podcast with him in a while, but he's like sometimes you're not gonna be the one to change that person's life. Maybe God has someone else in store
Yeah.
to change that person's life or an experience, stuff like that. But yeah, just like with peer pressure, we had a podcast about that. Yeah, I feel like it's going to get to the point where, bro, it's starting to like, I don't know, get hard to find topics because
Yeah.
we've done. This is our 22nd topic, and I feel like we've done almost everything. But somehow, bro, God always has another topic when I need it. Like literally spiritual growth. I don't think like you asked me what topic. I was about to just DM back like, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'll DM you back. But something in me like last second was spiritual growth. I don't know where that came from. It just came popped in my head and I just typed it down right there and then.
Well, I'll just say I believe that was God. I mean,
Yeah.
because I've had a ton of spiritual growth this year. So it has that guy over there. And I'm not sitting here saying that we're the perfect guys to talk about spiritual growth, but we've experienced it and we've got to see it firsthand in each other as well. And so it's just been I believe that it was God saying, you got these guys coming on. Here's something that they can both talk about from experience.
Yeah, I think it has to be going. And I mean, speaking on my side, like Micah can testify for me, like I've had a ton of spiritual growth from whenever I was a little 7th grader coming in here up to now in the 11th grade. Like it's a lot has changed. I've saw a lot change in him. Obviously a great role model for that. I think it has to be God. And that's kind of, I was with my friends yesterday and I told them about it. And they're like, what are you talking about? And I was like, spiritual growth. They're like, that is perfect for you to talk about. Like that's something that you really have had. And that's kind of something just like, it has to be God.
Yeah.
And it's been so cool for me because his mom and my mom were childhood best friends. I've known him since he was a baby. And I've literally got to see just so much spiritual growth happen from the time that he was crawling around in diapers to where he is now. Like, it's just been awesome to see.
Yeah. That's crazy, bro. Yeah, like, I'm so good. I'm so glad I got y'all both on. The way I just kind of I'm just like, it's because I know me and Brock, where we used to have, I don't know if you knew back then, where it was 4 of us. Me,
Yeah.
Brock, Brent, and Connor. Brent and Connor, they have football, so they literally have practice every day. Hopefully one day we can have them back on. We've been literally saying that since the beginning of summer on the podcast. Hopefully one day we have him back. We will one day. And Brock, he had, I think, tryouts today. So he couldn't make it either today. But, it was to the point where I was telling, me and Brock were having a conversation. I forgot when it was. It was maybe in the summer. But it wasn't like a rule, but it was, I guess, something like, I don't know. We only had people on the podcast that we knew. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, we had to know them, maybe by going to our school or something. We had to know them or anything. But it was to the point where I was like, what if you just invite people that we have no connection with, we don't know? And it was something that's like, maybe it'd be awkward. I think that's something we brought up. Like, we're literally gonna be on camera talking about God with people we don't know, you know? But like, bro, we've been doing that and it has worked. Like, I don't know you guys,
Yeah.
but I feel like we've all like kind of shared our story and,
Mhm.
just experience. And people, whoever's watching can take something out of that, I mean, like, something one of us said could have literally been something someone needed to hear.
Yeah, and that's kind of always been a big thing with me. Like, especially like talking about God. Like, I've always kind of been nervous to do it around people. Like, you don't know how they're gonna react or anything. But then it's kind of just like, okay, like if this person gets saved or if I talk about it to this and it changes their life, like that's so much better than not doing it.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
life in eternity is so much better than 30 minutes of talking and being nervous.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember exactly who I heard say it like this, but your discomfort is not worth their eternal judgment.
Mhm.
I mean, you might be able to plant a seed in somebody's life that somebody else is able to come in and water, and then somebody else is able to come in and nourish and help grow. Pastor Matthew says it like this all the time, and I love the way he puts it. Preach the gospel, and when necessary, use words.
Mhm.
Basically, live your life for Christ, because you might be the only Bible that somebody sees. And when necessary, talk to them.
Thank you for watching episode 22, Spiritual Growth, with special guest Kobe Cox and Micah Croft. And man, like you guys said, that was, like we haven't known each other at all,
Yeah.
but man, just whenever you guys want to be back on the podcast, bro, just let me know, bro. We've had a bunch of people. We've had Pastor Matthew 3 times. So, yeah. So just thank you for coming on. So see you guys next episode.